Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Putri Salinihlah, and here I'm going to explain about speech aids. So the definition about speech aids is from me. Speech aids is not just speaking about an information, but our speaking, it shows a power that can perform an action. Yeah. So example like when I said, I promise to help you. From POV other people, they can think like, oh, Sayalin is not just say a promise, but she makes a promise. So that is speech aid. And speech aid and there is if it's. I think if it is the intention of speech aid. So speech aid can be a request, can be a comment, can be a promise, and so on. It depends our intention. It depends the speaker's intention. And there is a felicity condition. There is a criteria to make our speech a success. Um, simple. The simple. The simple example is like if someone says something like, I now pronounce you husband and wife, this sentence only works if the speaker has the right authority, like a priest or maybe in our religion is like penghulu, and then the situation is appropriate during a wedding, and then the speaker is serious, not joking. But if one of these is missing, so the speech act can fails. The speech act fails. Example is like I'm as a English students university. Say that sentence like I said, I now pronounce you husband and wife. So the speech act is failed because I don't have the right authority to marry them. Okay. Next example is like when you hear the priest say that in real wedding, so you absolutely think that the wedding is success because yeah, that is real wedding. But if you hear that when you watch a movie, so of course you think that oh, it's not just real wedding. So that's why the speech act fails because the situation is not appropriate. There is types of felicity condition. There is preparatory condition. So the situation must be suitable. There is sincerity condition. The speaker must truly mean what they say. And then there is propositional content condition. The content must match the action. And then there is essential condition. So the act must be understood as doing something. Next is the performative hypothesis. So performative hypothesis or performative sentence is show that the sentence or the words is not just say something, but they do something. Example like I tell a promise, I promise to help you. So here I just not say a promise, but I make a promise. But so and then it can be a formal when we add hereby. So informal we can just say I promise to come, but formal we add hereby. So they can be I hereby promise that I will come. So here is the feature of performative sentence. Of course, use performative verbs like promise, apologize, declare, name, and when, and so on. And then the subject is usually first person. Okay. But when we use third person like she, he, they, it is not performative sentence, but it is, we call it constative sentence. Okay. And then use of present tense and often includes the word hereby if the sentence is formal. So there is classification of speech acts. There is representative, stating a fact, opinion, or belief of the speaker. Example is the earth is flat. So verbs assert, claim, inform, describe, report, and so on. There is directives, and then directive is aims to get the listener to do something. Yeah. And we usually use performative sentence like please close the door, or maybe like I want you to leave me alone. Okay, something like that. And then commissiveness, stating the speaker's commitment to a future action. And then expressives, express our feeling or psychological state. And then declaration, changing status directly in an institutional context. Example, you're fired. And then there is direct and indirect speech in sociopragmatics. Direct speech is like I promise, I'm tired, I'm sorry. But indirect speech, it can be she said that she was tired. Or maybe like, can you close the door, please? It is indirect. And here, case socio-pragmatics aspect based on direct and indirect speech, politeness and power relation. People may choose indirect speech to show politeness or respect, especially in formal context or hierarchical relationships. Example, like he said, clean this room. And in indirect, he told me to clean the room. Or maybe like, maybe we can say, can you clean this room, please? Maybe like that. And then for cultural communication style, high context cultures prefer indirect communication to maintain harmony, but low context cultures are more likely to use direct speech. Okay. Okay, this is the example of direct and indirect speech. So, okay, speech acts. We can find speech act in like in an even like a job interview, wedding in a real wedding, in classroom discussion, in religious sermon, or maybe like in politics speech, I think. Okay. Okay, I think enough for our presentation. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.